Today, fear is 24/7. Every day, all day, stress, stress, stress. The system was never designed for chronic fear. COVID took the weak people out. It didn't affect the strong people. But they did something more than people don't understand. If you know you are powerful, then you become the creator of what you want. When you believe you're the victim of genes, politics, whatever, then you become whatever those programs are.
Meine lieben Freunde, seit unserer Kindheit werden wir konditioniert, wir werden programmiert. Es heißt, dass wir bis zum 7. Lebensjahr zu 90% eine bestehende Persönlichkeit haben. Und der erste Schritt ist es überhaupt zu erkennen, dass wir bestimmten Mustern hinterherlaufen, dass wir nicht wirklich frei sind, dass wir gefangen sind in einem System, in dem wir aufgewachsen sind, in dem wir erzogen sind. Und der zweite wesentliche Schritt ist es, wenn wir erkennen, dass wir nicht wirklich unser Leben leben, etwas konkret zu unternehmen. Ja, das Schwierigste ist ja nicht eine Entscheidung zu treffen, sondern mit ihren Folgen zu leben. Und genau dafür habe ich einen der führenden Top-Experten weltweit eingeladen. Ein Mann, der seit Jahrzehnten zum Thema Epigenetik forscht und der sich genau damit auseinandergesetzt hat, was die Zellen, die intelligenten Zellen, sein wertvolles Buch dazu, in uns bewirken und wie wir selbst Einfluss darauf nehmen, was bei uns geht und nicht geht. Wir werden darüber sprechen, was du körperlich tun musst, was du körperlich nicht mehr tun darfst, um deinen Körper genau das zu geben, was es braucht, um im hohen Alter auch eine beste Gesundheit zu erreichen. Und vor allem werden wir darüber sprechen, wie es dir gelingt, dein Unterbewusstsein, dein System neu zu programmieren, um in deine Größe zu kommen. My dear Bruce, we welcome you from the whole heart and please welcome being here. Thanks a lot for your time.
Well, again, heute, good day. Good day, guten Abend or guten Tag, depending on when you're listening. And I'm so glad you're here because we have a message to empower you to become the creator you are, so you can create what you want and not what other people have told you. So this is a good message time.
Bruce, can you take us on a journey when all this started? Because one day you was a young man, you understand, you read books for sure, you studied, you've done your experiments. What was a day or maybe a moment when you understood that all these things you studied and learned and have done into praxis, when you understood that it really works in the real life for you and not only all the teachings you had before?
Well, okay, let's go back with the fact that I was educated like most people. In 1953, the public was shown what is called the DNA double helix and a story about the helix. They said this is a blueprint, a program that controls your life. And that, as far as we know, we didn't pick the genes we came from. If you don't like you don't like it, can you change the genes? I say, no, you can't do that. And then we also say, and you've heard this, genes turn on and genes turn off, and they control your life. So I said, what does that mean when you put all those three together? It says, you have been a victim of a program of genes. And that genes control your life and you have no control over the genes. So that if there's something running in a family, heart disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes, cancer, you say, oh, those are due to the genes. Well, the story is completely wrong. And the genes do not control anything. Control means action. Who's in control? I say, the gene? Oh, yes, it turns on and off by itself. I go, that is false, 100% false. A gene is a blueprint to make proteins that are the building blocks of the body. So my body looks like this because I have a program to build the body that looks like this. So the genes make the body, but they're blueprint. I go, why is this important? Because we were told the blueprints turn on and off and control me. I go, it's a blueprint. I tell people, I say, go into an architect's office. The architect is working on a blueprint. Ask the architect a question. is your blueprint on or is your blueprint off? The architect go, there's no on and off. It's a blueprint. Aha! Aha! That's the point. DNA cannot turn itself on and off. It's a blueprint. What you want to find out is, who is the architect that controls the blueprint? The mind controls the genes. I go, well, wait a minute. Then what about all the diseases? You ready for this? Less than 1%, less than 1% of all the diseases are due to genes. I go, where's the rest of the... We're in a healthcare crisis over the whole planet. Where's the disease coming from? Over 90% of disease is from stress. Stress interferes with our growth because stress makes us go into protection. I go, what does that mean? I say, growth, let's say there's a stimulus out there, whether it's food or a job or a person that you like and you want to go to them. So when you want them, you go to the stimulus and you keep your arms open so you could take the stimulus in. So you go to a stimulus open, because if it's food, take it in. If it's love, you take it in. Okay? But I say, what if the stimulus is a threat? I go, well, then you don't go to the stimulus, you go the other way. I say, do you stay open? I say, no, threat is protection. Close yourself off. So I say, wait a minute. Growth, you go to the stimulus. Protection, you go away from the stimulus. Well, you can't go to and away at the same time. You're either going to it or you're going away from it. But you can't be in the middle, you know. I say, and growth is your open, take it in. Protection is your close, keep it out. You can't be open and closed at the same time. So I say, so wait a minute. Then the mechanism of growth and the mechanism of protection, you can't do at the same time. And the more afraid you are, the more you take in the protection behavior. Close yourself down, hide, protect yourself, make a wall, keep away. I say, but growth, you have to be open. But if you close yourself down, then you're not taking care of your growth. You're shutting off growth. You cannot be in protection and in growth at the same time. So the more protection we're in, the less we grow. Well, you see grow as from small to big, but grow is to maintain the body. The more you're in protection, the less you maintain the body. Why? Because the energy is, I need to protect myself. And growth means I need to use the energy to take care of my body. So the point is, where's the illness on the planet coming from? Stress. Why? Stress is a threat. We're threatened, whether it's a virus, whether it's an opposing army, whether you make up a threat. UFO is killing us or something. That's a belief. But the mind sees the belief as real and makes the behavior fit the belief. And we live in a world of stress. So I say, what's the mind doing? Shutting down the growth so we can stay in protection. But you can't survive. Growth you need to do. So basically it says, we are killing ourselves by being in stress. 3 things that happen with stress. Number 1, stress, let's use the image of a saber-toothed tiger. Okay? That's the original threat. I say, the saber-toothed tiger is coming. What are you going to do? I have to protect myself. Well, how do you protect yourself? You have to run away. I go, well, how do you do that? I say, you got to use your arms and legs, and you have to run. I say, here's the problem. The energy is in the blood. Whatever organ structure gets the blood, they have the energy to do the job. When we're not in fear, the blood is mainly in the gut. That's where what? Maintenance of the body, cleaning the body, nourishing the body, replacing the body parts. That's the function here. I say, yeah, that's where the blood is, to give me energy to grow. Okay? But I say, but when the saber-toothed tiger is coming, where do I want the energy? I don't want it in the gut. I want it in my arms and legs so I can run. So I say, so then what's the first thing when the stress hormones come? You ready? I'm going to give the 3 reasons why we're sick. Number 1, when the stress hormones are in there, it says get ready to run. Well, if I need to run, I need the blood to go where? In my arms and legs. I say, yeah, but normally it's here in the gut. I say, stress hormones, listen, this is so simple. Stress hormones shut the blood vessels in the gut. They make them squeeze shut. I say, so where? Well, the blood can't go into the gut. I say, now where's the blood going to go if I squeeze the blood vessels? It's going to go to my arms and legs. So step number 1, you shut down the energy for the gut and move the energy to the arms and legs. Okay, that's number 1. So you shut down growth, but you're into protection. Okay? Number 2, the immune system uses a lot of energy. If you've ever been sick, you know sometimes you have no energy to get out of the bed because the immune system uses a lot of energy. So now look at it this way. The tiger is chasing you and you have a bacterial infection. So I said, well, how much energy should I fight the bacteria? How much energy should I run away from the tiger? Well, the answer is simple. The heck with the bacteria, because if the tiger catches you, the bacteria is not your problem anymore, okay? So guess what? The immune system is shut down when stress hormones are present. Why? Because I need the energy to run. I don't need the energy to heal myself right now, okay? So I say, oh, so you shut off the immune system and you shut off the growth. You can see you're shutting yourself down. And the third one, and this is the one politicians know about. When you are afraid, you could either use your thinking mind, which is the conscious mind right back here behind your forehead, the one connected to your spirit, or you can use reflex. That's the program in the subconscious. No thinking, reaction, no thinking. It's very fast, and you need it. So I said, then what? That's the third thing is, when the stress hormones are present, they squeeze the blood vessels, this time in the forebrain, thinking. So there's no energy for thinking. Where's the blood going? It's going to the hindbrain for reaction. We become less intelligent. We become afraid. And then we feel like we have no power. And we say, who's got the power? So when you become afraid, you give your power up to other people. And I say, we become less intelligent. And so when a government scares you, you say, okay, you fix it. I'm afraid. Save me. Protect myself. And that's how they win. The people who have power over you, how do they have power over you? They make you afraid. And then they tell you they're going to take care of you. Because the moment I'm afraid, I give up the power. Oh, you take care of me. You know, COVID, everyone was thinking, oh, COVID, the virus is killing you. I go, no. Most of the people that got infected virus had just a flu. Oh, yeah, but people died. I go, these people who were affected by the virus and got sick were already sick before the virus got here. Most of them were super obese. Most of them were diabetic type 2. Most of them had heart and stress and fear problems. They were weak before the virus got there. Just a parallel so people understand. The farmers, they always were afraid the wolves are going to eat up the livestock. The wolves will eat the lamb. The wolves will eat the cow. So we get rid of the wolves. Well, they messed up the world by because the wolves were doing something different. I said, what was it? When a wolf is hungry and let's say there's a whole bunch of deer, okay? Does the wolf go for the one with the biggest antlers? No, that's the healthiest one. You want to chase that one? That's so healthy, it can beat you. You can't get out. So which one is the wolf going to go for? The weakest one. Because that's the one they can catch. So they look at all of them and they say, that's the weak one. And they pick that one, and that's the one they'll chase because the weakest one will not have the strength to win. Okay? So I say, oh, then what were the wolves doing? They were taking the weak elements out of the population so that the leftover population were the strong elements. COVID took the weak people out. It didn't affect the strong people. But they did something more that people don't understand. I said, what was it? They separated us from community. What do you mean? I said, put a mask on. Don't talk to them. Keep away. Don't get close. Keep away from them. People, let me tell you a fact. We only have power in a community. No single person changes the world. It takes a community. What happened during COVID? Every country except Sweden made everybody separate. Don't talk, don't communicate, don't get in a group. And I go, what happened? We had no power. You, me, Maxime, we have no power. Because if we don't have a community to support, then we have no power. So everyone looks at COVID as the virus that was killing people. I said, no, you see, there was no power for people during that period because the whole world responded to a few people who made the rules for all of the people. Keep away, don't talk, put the mask on, don't communicate. I said, in that moment, you never realized it. The people in this world lost all the power. There was no ability to change anything because each one of us gave up and walked away in a separate place. And you're looking at the virus killing people. I go, oh no. The virus concept is what caused us to lose community. And we lost our power. No people had power except a few. And they ran the whole world. Mm-hmm. Okay? So that becomes a very critical part of how the knowledge or lack of knowledge has disempowered us. And how those people who have power over us, how do they have power over us? Because they scare us for free, and then they sell us how to get out of it. The church, what did they do? They gave you hell. It was for free. Yep, you don't do well, you're all going to die, and then you're going to go down to hell. There's a burning fire, you're never getting out. Dante's Inferno. I go, where'd they get that idea? It wasn't science. It was never anything. It was a Greek mythology of a fire. It wasn't even real. It was just made up. But people believed it. And I said, oh my God, I don't want to go to hell. What can I do? And then the church says, give us 10% of your salary and we will save you. They gave the hell for free. And then they charged how to get out of the hell. Okay? The COVID story. They gave you that for free. Yep, virus is here, virus is here. How do you get out of it? Do what we say. And all of a sudden, what did they do? They took away all your power in the process. And people say, well, the vaccine is free. I laugh. When did the vaccine become free? Did Pfizer just, here, have some vaccine? No, Pfizer sold the vaccine. $1 billion. Well, then who paid for it? You paid for it. It was called taxes. And then they said, no, the vaccine is free. After you paid for it, now it's free. And I go, so what was the point? They scared you with the free virus, and they sold you how to get out of the virus at a cost. And this is the world when you give up your power, then other people control your world. How do you get your power back? Ha! Maxime is right here. Read his book. You get the answer how to get the power back. But you have to understand how you lost the power. You lost it because you got a program that you are powerless. You got a program that you have no ability. You're not good enough. You're not lovable enough. You're going to go to hell. You're going to get sick. Medicine doesn't help you. It gives you the fear. Remember, they're the ones that you bought the story. Why? Because when you were a child, you learned a program. When you're sick, you don't heal it. You go to the doctor. The doctor heals it. So you have, in that story, you have no power. The doctor has the power. And then I say, why is that important? Because whatever they say becomes your truth. And if they say you're going to die in 3 months, your brain will take that as a calendar and say, in 3 months I will die. Do you want to? No, they said so, but you bought that whatever they say is true. The priest says you're going to go to hell. Is that true? Well, if you buy it, it becomes your truth. And I'm trying to say, you are the creator. When you give up your power to other people, you have no more power. When you give up your power to the church, they tell you this is what you must do. You give up your power to the doctor, they tell you what you must do. Are they helping me? No. Excuse me, but the church and the pharmaceutical industry make money off of you by living whatever program they sold you. And the time is to wake up. And the time is to say, wait, do genes cause my problem? Less than 1%. Then where's the problem coming from? Consciousness. Let me explain it best I can because of my research that opened my eyes. I say what? I was growing stem cells in tissue culture in 1967. I said, what's a stem cell? I said, well, your body is made out of 50 trillion cells. And every second, you're losing billions of cells. Just in the last second, boom, billion cells dead. Boom, billion cells dead. Boom, billion cells every second. At the end of the day, you lose hundreds of billions of cells. Just naturally, they die. Skin comes off, right? Hair falls out. The body is rebuilding. So I go, so what's the point of all this? And I say, well, you have to replace those cells, otherwise you can't live. I say, so how are you doing? I say, in your body, among the other cells, are something called stem cells. You've heard of stem cells. I said, what are they? They're embryonic cells. They will replace the cells that are dying every day. Because if you don't have stem cells, you wouldn't be listening to this broadcast. You'd be dead by now. So I say stem cells are embryonic cells. They're all powerful. They can become muscle, bone, skin, nerve, anything, okay? So let's go quickly into, if I can make it quickly, what was my research? I was cloning a stem cell. Well, you heard the word cloning. Let me tell you what it means. I only put one stem cell in the dish. The whole Petri dish, just one cell. But it divides every 10 hours. So first it's 1 cell. 10 hours later, 2 cells. 10 hours later, 4 cells. 10 hours later, 8, 16. It doubles. So I start with 1 cell. At the end of the week, I have 30,000 cells in the Petri dish. What's the important part? They all came from one parent. So I have 30,000 genetically identical cells. They came from the same parent's genes. Okay? Genetically identical, 30,000. So here's the experiment. I split the cells up, 10,000 in each of 3 dishes. 10,000 in this, 10,000 in this, 10,000 in this dish. We grow cells in a fluid called culture medium. This is going to come back in 1 second. Just remember this. The cell's environment where they live is the fluid, the culture medium, okay? But since I make the culture medium in the lab, I made 3 different versions, slightly different chemistry. So I have genetically identical cells, but one dish gets fed with one culture medium A, second dish gets culture medium B, different one, and the third dish gets culture medium C, a different version. 3 days later, in one dish I get muscle. In dish number 2, I get bone. In dish number 3, I get fat cells. So as a research scientist, I'm going, what controls the cells? It was the culture medium, the environment, that selected the genes. The genes didn't make a decision. All the cells had the same genes. Why should I be muscle? Because the environment supported muscle. Why should I be bone? That environment supported bone. So I say, oh, so the fate of the cells is not controlled by genes, it's controlled by the environment. Well, this was an amazing new idea because I'm teaching in a medical school. Genes control your life. And this research says, no, genes didn't control anything. Environment controlled it. Now let me give you the connection, and it blew my mind because, of course, I did it in a second. Let me give you. The human body is made out of 50 trillion cells. It's a skin-covered petri dish. I got 50 trillion cells inside. And the original culture medium is called blood. So in the lab, when I make culture medium, I look at how do I make blood and put that in the culture dishes, okay? So I say, so what? You're a skin-covered culture dish with 50 trillion cells, and the control is in the blood, the chemistry of the blood. You change the chemistry of the blood, you change the genetic activity, bone, muscle, fat cells, you know. I say, so in your own body, you're an experiment. You're making culture medium, and the chemistry of the culture medium controls the genes, just like in the plastic dish. Then it comes to two questions. Number one, what controls the chemistry of the blood? Because that controls the genetics. I go, the chemistry in the blood is controlled by the brain. It releases hormones and factors that control the genetics in the blood. Then comes the last, and this is the big one. So, what chemistry should the brain put into the blood? And when I understood this, my whole world went upside down, because I realized a very important fact. Whatever you are thinking, the chemistry of the brain is a complement to whatever the picture is. If I'm in a state of love, my brain releases wonderful chemistry, dopamine for pleasure. That's why we love being in love. Oxytocin, yes, that bonds me to my lover. Growth hormone does what it says. This is why when people fall in love, they're so healthy. They glow. Oh, see how healthy they are. See how in love they are. I go, health was the chemistry of love. I say, but what if I'm afraid? I go, oh, fear has different chemistry. Stress hormones and factors that influence the immune system. I go, oh, so whatever picture I'm holding in my mind, it's translated into chemistry, which then goes and adjusts my genetics. Change your mind, and you change your genetics. But the genetics are going to match the picture. If you live in fear, then you're going to live in protection. Shut yourself down. Walk, keep away. And if you live in love, you're going to be open. And all of a sudden I say, well then, what controls your whole life? The mind. Change the mind, and you change the chemistry, and the chemistry changes the genetics. The control is not in the genes, it's above the genes. I go, oh, old story, the one you learned, genes control this character. New story, it's not the genes, it's the chemistry above the genes that controls the character. Well, above is epi. So I say, like skin, epidermis. What does that mean? Below the skin is a layer called dermis. What is epi? Above the dermis. What is epigenetics? Above the genes. Oh, there's something controlling genes? Yeah, the chemistry. That's above the genes. Change the chemistry, you change the genes. How do you change the chemistry? You change the thought. And all of a sudden you go, well, you know what? Oh, it sounds so new agey. I go, hey, for 100 years, we know something called the placebo. I say, what's that? You're sick. And the doctor says, I got the newest medicine just for you. This is the newest medicine just for your problem. And you take this pill, and you get better. And then you find out what was in the pill. A sugar pill. I go, then what healed you? Sugar? No. Your belief, the positive belief that this is going to heal me. I have positive thinking. I took the right pill. I'm going to get the right result, and I get healthy. And all of a sudden I said, oh, so your health was controlled by your positive thinking. I go, yes, it was. But then I say, well, what about negative thinking? I go, oh, we never talked about that, but guess what? It's equally powerful in controlling your life, but in the opposite direction. Positive thinking can heal you and give you a great life. Negative thinking can cause every illness on this planet and even cause you to die. Placebo, positive thinking, health. Nocebo, negative thinking, disease. So I said, then where's the disease coming from on this planet? Not from the genes. It's coming from the negative thinking. I said, where are you getting that negative thinking from? Watch the news. Surf the web. Look out your window. The world's crazy. It's very negative. It's very scary. If you buy into the fear, then what do you think the picture is? Fear. What do you think the body's going to do? Make a chemistry that matches fear. And that chemistry is going to kill you. It's the stress that causes over 90% of illness. Nothing to do with genes at all. Why? Stress changes the chemistry. Stress is fear chemistry. Fear chemistry, wall yourself off and don't communicate. And all of a sudden, that is the reason we go to die. And I go, well, nature made a stupid mistake. I go, no. When was this evolved? When we were like cave people. I go, what? It was that saber-toothed tiger. That was the only thing we were afraid of. And I say, so what happened? Well, if you got away from the tiger, run for 10 minutes, and you get away, no more fear, and you go back into growth again. So fear was 10 minutes. And that's all. You shut it down, 10 minutes. No big deal. Today, fear is 24/7. Every day, all day. Stress. I said, oh, the system was never designed for chronic fear. It was only designed for a short-term fear, get out of it, and come back into growth. Chronic fear, you've shut down the growth, you've shut down the immune system, you shut down the intelligence. When does it stop? When you're out of the fear. When do you get out of the fear? They're not letting you get out of the fear. They will give you fear every day. Just turn on television, you got enough fear to keep you busy all day.
My dear Bruce, you're so absolutely right. And what you're teaching is so profound. And with all your expertise in the last centuries, thank you for telling the people how important it is what is coming in day to day, every day in the subconscious mind that will manifest in order of time. Last question, is there something apart from the most important, from the psychology, from the thinking, would you recommend for the health? Like, is there something you do for vitamins, sport? And if you do this, what do you recommend?
Okay. Well, below the head, I can take care of the chemistry by what? Putting the right supplements in. Vitamin C is the best supplement to counteract fear and the stress from it. Vitamin C and vitamin D. So every day I take massive vitamin C. I take 2 grams vitamin C. That's a lot of vitamin C. I go, yeah, because medicine say you only take a little bit of vitamin C. Why? Because then you're out of control. Mm-hmm. But if I take a lot of vitamin C, that cuts off the fear response. Boom. Okay? But then one of the greatest things in the whole world, if people knew this as a fact versus a belief, it changes the world. And I said, what is it? I myself was not a spiritual person. I was a biologist, and I understood molecules, proteins, and lipids, and carbohydrates, and nucleus, and mitochondria. And I say, spirituality? Nope, had nothing to do with it. It was just cells. They lived, they died. And then a question came to me very quickly, and it was like, how come I can't put Maxime's cells or his organ into my body, or I can't put my organ into his body? Because if I put my, let's say, lung into Maxime, his immune system is going to look at that and say, that's not us. I go, how does it know who is who? Because on your cells, except for the red blood cells, that's why we can exchange blood cells, okay, easy. Except for those, your other cells have protein antennas. They're called receptors. You, in the skin, you have receptors, eyes, ears, nose, taste, touch, pain. Where are your receptors? In the skin. Well, the cell has receptors in the skin, but they're proteins, they're antennas. There's a set of receptors that you have and no other person on the whole planet has. They're called self-receptors. And this means that you have a set of antennas that no other person has the same set. But some people can overlap and have partial overlap, but not, nobody gets full overlap, just pieces. So when you want to transplant a heart, you just give it to anybody? I go, no. You have to find a recipient who has similar of self proteins as the one who is on the heart. Because then when you put the heart in, the immune system is not going to go crazy and get rid of it. So I say, yeah, but what's the point? I say, then what makes us different? I say, these antennas. But I say, wait a minute. Antennas are called receptors. Receptors are receivers. I go, what is my antennas receiving and your antennas receiving? Different things because they're different. They're tuned to different things. They're receiving an energy field, quantum physics. Everything is energy. I say, yeah, my receptors read a field. Your receptors read a different field. These are identities. If I take the receptors off the cells, they're not personal anymore. They're just human cells. But my cells are human cells with Bruce's antennas, and Maxime's cells are his cells with Maxime's antennas, and your cells have your own antennas. I go, so what was the point? Analogy here. The body is like a television set. The antennas are just like the antennas in the old days where the signal would be picked up by the antenna and then play through the television. So you're looking at the Bruce show on the Bruce television. Is my show in the television? No. The broadcast. So if you're watching TV and you say the TV is dead, it's not working, game over. But when the TV broke, the broadcast stop? I go, no, broadcast is there, just the TV can't see it anymore. So I say, so what's the point? Your identity that makes you different from everybody else is the broadcast. The cells are pretty much the same. It's you're receiving a different broadcast. So I say, so why is this important? I say, well, when you die, does that mean you die? I say, no. You're the broadcast. You're not the television set. And I say, if an embryo shows up in the future with the same set of antennas that you have, you're back. That's called reincarnation. Yeah. It doesn't make a difference if it's a male or female embryo. No, it's the TV. It's just the TV. The broadcast is not the TV. Doesn't make a difference if it's white, brown, black, red, yellow. No, that's the TV. It's not the broadcast. And all of a sudden I say, oh my God, we're immortal. You are a spirit that's always here and you'll come back again and again. I said, then why do it? And let me close with this because this is the important part. You ready? Because we came here to create. You are a creator. Are you creating what you want, or are you creating a program that other people downloaded? And the answer is, you're creating from a program 95% of the time. The things you learn in the first 7 years of your life are the things that control the rest of your life. And you learn them by watching other people, so the programs didn't even come from you. They came from other people. Did they answer the questions that you wanted? No, they had different vision. Well, that means when they're running you, can you have your vision? I say, no, you get their vision because that's where you got the program from. And all of a sudden it says, well, wait, I can change the program. I go, yeah. How do you do that? I say, well, Maxime's got a book that'll tell you about how to do it. Why should I tell you? He's the guy that wrote it. And that's why I want to support him in this, because knowledge is power. It's the knowledge that determines the chemistry of the brain, which then determines the chemistry of the blood, which then determines the genetics. You are not controlled by your genes. You're controlled by your belief. Do you believe you are powerful? Or have you been programmed like everybody else that you're a victim of the world? Because that's where the difference is. If you know you are powerful, then you become the creator of what you want. When you believe you're the victim of genes, politics, whatever, then you become whatever those programs are. Maxime's book is the critical book. It says, well, how do I change the program if it's not working right? Read the book. That's why he wrote it.
My dear friend Bruce, you are such a humble man, and you are not even wise. You are such a strong leader. So we will pick all these wonderful books, all these bestsellers, and we will link it in our interview. I have to wrap up a little bit because we're running out of time. Bruce, yes. You are an amazing man. I know I know you know what you're doing on this planet. Yeah, there's millions of people watching your videos and changing their lives in spiritual, in relationships, in financial, in their habits, in whatever they do. Last question: if you would have this chance, because our consciousness is rising, but it's rising pretty slowly, and you would get this most seen event on this planet, which is Super Bowl, and you would get like this 2-3 billion people watching, what would you say them in 3 most important facts which you find out of your life?
Number 1, there are very powerful people on this planet, and we see them as very powerful. They got all the money, they got the 1%, they got all the money and everything. We're not so powerful. Let me give you an important biological reality. All humans are equally powerful. I said, well, then how did they become powerful and I'm not powerful? I go, they didn't get more power. They took away your power by programming you to be a victim. Then you say, oh, I have no power. I say, but that's a program. And you bought it because you were young and you were an infant. How did you know? Okay? Then when you understand this, I say, well, then how am I creating my life? I say, you're creating it with this conscious mind, which is creative mind. But you have programs like a computer in a subconscious mind. Are you living from the creativity or are you living from the program? 95% of your life is program. And therefore, if you have good programs, then 95% of your life, you're going off and where you want to be. And if you have negative programs, then you go downhill for 95% of your life. So you have to look at the programs. Your life is a printout of your programs. The things that come easy, they come easy because you have a program that says, okay, I can have those. But the things that you desire and you have to work hard and stress over it, put a lot of effort. I'm making it happen. I'm working. Why are you working so hard? And the answer is inevitably, whatever you were trying to get to, your program doesn't support it. So automatically, then I said, well, look at your life and you'll see what programs you have. So wherever you're struggling, you have a negative program. That's basically it. And then lastly, I think the most important thing is to recognize that we're all created and built in the character of love. And yet we're programmed to lose that love. We're programmed to fight other people. How? Because they're the bad ones and we're the good ones. I said, who said that? The leader. I go, yeah, well, the leader is the bad guy now because they programmed you to lose your power and lose your love. The chemistry of love in your mind is chemistry of health in your body. And we have been programmed to believe that we're victims, not good enough, not smart enough, we're not worthy. These are programs, and they have taken away your power. And you have to change those programs. But more importantly, as Maxime is recognizing with his own child, a child's future is based on what you tell them they are. If you tell them they're weak, then they grow up as weak. If you tell them they're powerful, then they grow up as powerful. There's a famous book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I say, what's the point? Kids that grew up in a rich family have a tendency to stay rich. Kids who grew up in a poor family have a tendency to stay poor. Why? Because there's a thinking that rich people use that's different than the thinking that poor people use. So if you grow up in a rich family, you get all that thinking that gives you power. If you grow up in a poor family, the thinking is not good enough, we're weak, we're not getting anything, we're victims, blah, blah, blah. No power. I say, so the result of your life is based on your program. And it's so important because, as I just said, in a sense, what's the way out of the program? I said, well, change the program. I said, well, how do you do that? I go, Soul Master. What a great reference. What a great resource. Read it. Become it. You are always powerful until you were programmed to believe you were a victim. And then you become the program. You were programmed to be rich, then you get rich. You're programmed to be poor. You're programmed to have cancer, you get cancer. Cancer is not a gene. Cancer is a program. And we have to change those. And I'm glad because Maxime brought it up during our conversation. He has a young son. And his effort is to program power into his child so that when he grows up, that child, 95% of his life is coming from the belief, I am a powerful person. And they will manifest that. That is the resolution. Raising the kids to be powerful. And since we've already been programmed and lost our power, then changing the program, which you can do when you know you have a program.
My dear Bruce, you're such a wonderful, strong leader, a person who inspires so many hearts, not only brains. You are really a genius. You're touching the people with your courage. Boy. Please let me give you this flowers back, because you are such a lovely, kind, and brilliant mind of our time. And it was a big pleasure to have you here on the show. Thank you for your time. We know how much work you have. It's been a long time for waiting for this podcast, and it was every second of it. It was worthy of it. Thank you for an amazing work for all this world, for all the people on this planet. Thanks so much.
Well, I want to thank you because, I have an opportunity to talk to your wonderful audience. It's the audience, to me, that are the most important people, because the audience are the cultural creatives. They're the ones that say, there's another way to live on this planet, and I got to find it. And then you end up at this station, and the significance is, yes, this is a resource for self-empowerment. So I have to thank you, Maxime, to give me a chance to talk to this very important audience, because they're here to seek power. And I would love to say, you are power. If you understand it, you can have your power back. And my Supreme Master of Ceremonies, Maxime, has already given you the opportunity to get that back. His book, Instructions to Re-Empower Your Life.
Wenn du das tust, was glückliche und erfolgreiche Menschen tun, wirst du ebenfalls glücklich und erfolgreich werden. Wenn du das, was diese Menschen vermeiden, auch vermeidest, kannst du nicht scheitern. Kennst du schon unseren Nummer 1 Podcast Die Köpfe der Genies mit insgesamt über 500 Folgen und weltweiten Experten, die zum Thema Gesundheit, Beruf, Spiritualität oder Beziehungen ihr bestes Know-how kostenfrei mit dir teilen? Wenn nein, so findest du hier einen Link zum Podcast.